September the 11th, 2016. Guys, you're looking at Earth-facing images of the sun from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Notice in the last few frames, the filament is starting to release in this top right corner. Watch this. It doesn't look that big, but you could line up about a dozen planets on the top of that part, just the section that's rising there. That's how large it is. Now, one of the things about it, it's just over the top of the Earth-Sun's magnetic connectivity point. We talked about that before. And it's releasing from the far side. That means it will whip back towards the center of the entire camera area here, guys. It's going to come over. It will be more of an upward and out angle back toward, again, to the center of what we're looking at. And again, these are Earth-facing images. Now, if you look at these closely, it's amazing to see what you've got is a series of towers of tornadoes composed of fire, plasma, the solar surface. Check that out. Electromagnetics and gases mixing. Now, what you don't see is the top of it in this particular camera. But what you do see here is a partial eclipse of our planet. As the SDO camera maneuvers, sometimes the Earth comes in front of it, sometimes the Moon. If you see that ragged edge in the shadow, it's the Earth. The Moon is far enough away where it will be a very crisp edge. Also, notice the sunspot activity is moving to the right. That filament is also on that side. Now, right in the middle of those sunspots and that filament is, again, the Earth and the Sun's magnetic connectivity point. It's always interesting to watch CERN when we start getting close to that. Check this out. Latest weather. Now, they're downplaying the two front storms and not giving them much of a chance at all now to develop. Let's look at the models. They've changed slightly. You see the one still in the Gulf, but instead of going straight across into Mexico, it's slightly above the Texas border. The second one has just crossed the Florida Peninsula. This time, instead of going through Alabama, it tracks right up the Mississippi River. See that? Now, they're downplaying them. We have that front. There's a group of clouds right there. Behind that is dry air. That's going to be significant in what happens to these storms. And it's moving faster than even the meteorologists were anticipating as they were increasing the chance of these storms. So we're going to have kind of a timeline here between dry air and what happens with these storms as they move forward. Now, something that happened last night, and we've talked about it for the last 2 days, watch it dip to the south and then loop back up. Watch this. You're going to see nightfall last night, dip, and back up. It's already getting caught up and headed back north and northeast now instead of west. They're still predicting it to go west. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, don't know how strong it's going to be. This is a water vapor image map of the Gulf. The darker the area, black areas are real dry air. You can see that front is squeezing the moisture out of the clouds. And down under these clouds on the bottom, in the bottom right quadrant, is the storm we're watching. You can't see it in this water vapor image. Let's back out and look at the entire nation, and you can see this front. It's a large front, and guys, it's going to be a blessing because it should cross into Texas and Louisiana before any kind of even just a low pressure area with a lot of rain develops out of here on the coast. My point has been direction, and I've never, like I said, there was no way to predict the strength in it. But we do know that something could form, just a tropical low, if it picks up enough moisture to come back across the peninsula of Florida, similar to the track of Hermine, and put some heavy rain in there. We're going to keep an eye on it, even though they're downplaying that storm. There's still a lot of energy in the Gulf, both in the air and in the sea temperature. You can have a cool front come through overnight. That water doesn't cool that quick, but it's kind of a clash of the fall and summer titans, if you wish. But notice that dark area right there, guys. That's the driest air in the back of that front. So part of Texas, northeast Louisiana, northeast Mississippi, Arkansas, you guys are already getting cooler air. It's football season. That's what it reminds me of. So we got this clash right here. The peak of hurricane season was yesterday on September 10th. Guys, we're watching it And listen, don't forget, today at 6 p.m. Central, I'm going to be a guest with Pastor Paul Begley on his show. I'll link to it. Many of you are familiar with it. We're going to talk about the storms and whatever comes up. You never know with Paul and I, but it always turns out to be a very good show. Guys, I'll see you there at 6 p.m. Central. I think it's 7 East Coast time, and I'll link to his website. He also has a YouTube channel, but you can link from all of that from his website, I think. It's a heads up. Be safe.